Hi everyone. We are going to try something a little bit different today. Because at the moment I'm not feeling like playing a video game, and I've been told a few times that I should show people how I make some of the stuff that I make, because every year for Christmas I hand make my Christmas presents, and I've done everything from leather work to clay figures out of Sculpey that I've painted to, homemade compound butters, bath stuff, lotion bars, sugar scrubs, that kind of stuff. One year I made these pocket kits, and then more recently they were these hand lettered papers that I put into frames of everybody's name, and then like the meaning of the name and everything. So I figured we could maybe do some of those, the hand lettering, and then also maybe I've been recently kind of practicing on bookmarks. So figured we would potentially try some of those as well. Because I'm still kind of sorting out how to do those. And on top of it, to kind of show that you don't need to have like all of the high end expensive equipment to be able to make stuff. Some things that can be made are just super cute, just with very basic Dollar Tree equipment. And that's the majority of what I have is stuff from the Dollar Tree. So, or just things that I had in my house already, because I have a lot of craft stuff that I don't use as much as I would like to. So, but I figured we'd try that. So we are gonna flip cameras, and give me just a sec to switch this around properly. And you can see my crappy desk going on here. But at least with this, you can see what I can see. And just to sort of show you some examples, these are some of the bookmarks that I made. And this was the first one I did. I had no idea what to even put on it. So I literally just kind of put stickers on it, and it's just sort of cheap and cute looking. The lamination on it is poor man's laminate, which is packing tape. Literally just packing tape over it just to hold it together a bit better. And as you can tell, I didn't do a great job at the back because I've got some of the bubbles and stuff that got into it, but it is what it is because this was the first test one. The tassels are a pain in my butt trying to make them, but I'm starting to get the hang of those. And then I just made this one today. And this one again is with packing tape. I did a better job this time, except at the very bottom here. I got a couple of bubbles. And I literally just wrote on it. I didn't do anything else. It's just a quote that I very much enjoy. And the tassel's not great. And the beads I picked up from the Dollar Tree. But I thought it was kind of fun. I guess we will wait a minute for the ads. I do have a couple other tassels that I made. And these are two different ways of trying to make tassels. This one, you can see kind of how it's held up, because it's not like a full tassel like you would see where it's like all over the place. It's just sort of looped and threaded through and call it a day kind of thing. And then this one is a little closer to what you would see from like, professionally made bookmarks. with the tassels, because this one's a little bit more, you can see where it comes out the one end, but it's a little bit more all over the place rather than just through the end. And hi, Shaggy. Appreciate you being here. And then for the hand lettering, this is just something that I did really, really quick. So this isn't like fully, but this is what I meant by the hand lettering. And it literally just starts with me writing out a name, and then I just expand in sections to make it look more like, almost like a calligraphy. This one is very rough. I just did it really quick to use as an example. And then at the bottom, I always put like the etymology of the name, what it means, where it's from, that kind of thing. Because I just think this is just sort of a cute idea. I literally just do this on computer paper, and when I need to get a frame, I go to the Dollar Tree and get a document frame from the Dollar Tree. And it fits in it perfectly, and it looks good, and it's cheap. So, as you can tell, the bookmarks that I have, they are very colorful, tie-dyed sort of look. And that's because I have a pack of scrapbooking paper. I picked it up from Hobby Lobby, and at the time it was on sale, like 50% off. So I spent, 10 or 15 bucks on this really thick pack of tie-dyed paper. So I have all kinds of different, I pulled a few different pieces from it for this just to try, because we have, hi Vic, I hope work goes well for you. So I have a bunch of different, tie-dyed papers to use for it, and figured some of them could be fun to try. I have an all pink one. I rarely use pink in anything because I don't like the color personally. But yeah, so there's all these different options that I thought could be cute. And then these are the two that I used originally. So that's what we have. And since I do have a gold tassel and a blue tassel, I figured, now I can't get them apart. I figured we could do this one for the gold tassel and do this kind of fun one with the blue one. So you can make the bookmarks as thin or as wide as you want with the packing tape. I literally just layer it over each other. And it might not always look the best, but it is what it is. And we're going to actually get a straight edge this time because I haven't been doing straight edges. And if you look really closely at my bookmarks, you can tell that they overlap and don't have that edge. We're going to make this a little thicker, I think. That looks about even. Until I move the whole thing and ruin it. Oh, who just... Shaggy, thank you for the raid. You didn't need to do that. And okay, Pastel, I appreciate it. Thank you for the lurk. And good luck with helping your friend. Yeah, I know you did it. Brat. You know that's what you are as a brat, right? All right, where is about the halfway point in this? Okay, I'm drinking. Appreciate that, Ninja. So this is what I'm drinking right now. Sorry, backwards. This is one of the best flavors. I love this. And I'm stretching. Thank you. Appreciate those. All right. Yeah, it's still not even though I tried. Oh well, it is what it is. Crafting is never perfect. We're just going to try to even this out a little bit here. Is the music too loud? Okay. Is that better? Well, it doesn't have to, because I have it as loud as I want it in mine. I just want to make sure it's not too loud for the stream. All right. So I guess the next thing is figuring out what is going to go on the, what's going to go on the bookmark. And I think the biggest thing with that is I tend to enjoy putting like inspirational phrases and stuff on my bookmarks. I don't know why. That's just always sort of been my thing. I didn't quite get this half and half either, did I? Oh well, we're going to put it this way. So we have to figure out what we're going to put on it. And I like to try to keep them short if I can. Like this one, because this one like wasn't super long or anything on it. Easy enough to write out. And I generally just, I'm not doing anything fancy. I can do the hand lettering and everything, but sometimes, especially with one as thin as this one that I made, it's difficult to do it in like super fancy because I don't have like anything super thin that I can work with for that. mean, I have one pen and it's sort of hit and miss. It works well enough, but then if I try to like do the hand lettering and extend it out, it sort of gets a little just weird looking. But let's see, what can I find? I do have a page that I have up of just inspirational quotes, and I'm just trying to find short ones that I like. Okay. All right. Let's do something a little bit thicker. And no, I can't really zoom in because I just have a little crappy $20 webcam. Let's see here. I think I want to try to make this a little bit thicker. Just because this purple on this is a little dark. All right. I know it's not like super great. Ooh. No, why? Okay, so I have a big ink smear. Thanks, pen. You haven't done that at all. But I'm going to use this lighter space here. Just for the smaller name. And just to sort of cover that up a little bit. Just do a little detail. All right. That's it. That is the basic. Helps if I get it in screen. I keep forgetting how close to my screen I have to be for this. And again, it's nothing super fancy. Now, I use 2 of these just to try to make it a little thicker, make it a little easier. And you can use glue, you can use like a glue stick. I've used double-sided tape before. All of those are an option. Today I'm going to try something Shaggy suggested to me, and I just got this at the Dollar Tree. I just need to get it all the way down because it's been sitting. There we go. I'm going to regret doing this with my finger, but whatever. I just don't want it to bubble out. But I do want it to stick together. All right. At the very least, grab a tissue. Luckily enough, tacky glue most of the time will just peel right off once it dries, especially if you get it thin like that. Okay, a little bit is coming out this one side, but it's not terrible. All right. Now for my poor man's laminate. And this may get a little bit loud. And this is literally, I just picked these up at the Dollar Tree, and then it decided to seal to itself. So you know that's helpful. I had it out. Ugh. No, can you just give me a full piece? Go all the way to the end. Stop with this edge piece that you're missing. Tape is a pain in the butt. It really is. Like I'm getting little pieces and not a full edge. There we go. One of the issues with using things from the Dollar Tree is that sometimes it just does not. Like right now, it's just ripping right down the middle. There we go. Get rid of that piece. All right. I'm going to be honest. This is not going to look pretty. And yes, I just taped it to my mouse pad, and I don't really care. I am going to use a little bit of a glue stick just to sort of help a little bit along the edges here. Stay in your holding area. And you don't. So we're going to fold you. So I can actually open you again. All right. That one did pretty well. There is a slight bubble here. But you know what? I don't really care that much. Kind of smooth out the bubbles as best as you can. The front is pretty good. You got a little bit of bubbling, but nothing huge. A couple spots of bubbles. And the back is much better than I usually get. All right. Now from here, it's just a matter of cutting off the excess tape. And you do want to give it, you don't want to cut it like right up close to it. You want to give it a little bit of room, because if you don't, it's gonna come undone. Now again, this might not be the greatest thing in the world. I don't do anything with my hair, Shaggy. But yes, I get the point. You could put it in a flat iron. I'm just going to round out these corners. And that would help to kind of melt the tape a little bit, just to... Yeah, but I don't have one. I don't even own a hair dryer, much less a flat iron. My hair is straight as straight can be anyway, so... Pick up all of our pieces. I don't own an iron either. My solution to wrinkles is to throw everything in the dryer with after spraying it damp and pulling it right out when it's done. All right. So I'm very low maintenance, okay? Shut up. All right. So, hole punch. Literally just got this at the Dollar Tree. Single hole punch, $1.25 plus tax. So this thing is very helpful. So I just kind of take it through, figure out where I want my hole, and just punch it through. And then we're going to use a blue one for this. I'm not going to put any beads on this because this is the shorter of the two. But you're just going to thread it through. If my fingers would work. Please and thank you. Grab the loop. Open it up. Enough that you can get the tassel of the bookmark through it. And there you go. One bookmark ready for use. If you find one, that's fine. Just let me know how much. All right. So for the yellow one, I was thinking of using this one, like we sort of picked out before, because I think that goes very well with it. Very sunny. I don't care. If you're getting me something for crafting, then I'm going to pay you back for it somehow. And after we do this bookmark, I'll make a tassel or two and show you how I do the tassels. Because they're not great, but they're workable. Really, none of my stuff is great. Okay, you're kind of getting in the way here, dude. Let's see if we can get a slightly more even by actually measuring, huh? Because I'm bad about doing that. I tend to do everything without measurements and without anything going on. Thank you, Ninja. He's just a cheap little thing that I got for a couple bucks, but he's my fidget toy whenever I'm bored. Pastel, you're going to make me get up and go get a dragon. Do I have any in here that I don't have to go far for? I do. Hold on. I got one I can get that's not too far away. Hey, Fi, how are you? Oh my God, everybody's sending everything through. Anyone who might be subbed, please let Ninja know that I did drink because I know an ad just started and I'm going to go get a dragon real quick while the ads are going. Okay, I have my dragons, so to speak. They haven't been put on the wall yet, so I can show them. But I'm going to wait for the ads to finish real quick. All right, so these are my dragons. They go up on the wall. I haven't put them on the wall yet, so I'll show them to you before I get to that point. But they're just silhouettes. Those are my dragons. I just haven't figured out where I'm going to put them yet. But they're going to all go up on the wall. Probably around one of my... Oh, before you go and lurk, I do have one other dragon. I'll give you a bonus dragon today, since this is my first craft stream. Because this one sits on my desk all the time in my pencil holder. I will never ever use this pencil. I will never use it because I never want to ruin the dragon. But I think it's cool. So he stays forever in my pen holder. Looming over all of the pens. We'll see if that's actually straight or not. I'm not really good at measuring. That's why I generally just don't bother. I just kind of wing it and hope it turns out. Close enough. Close enough. All right. What should we put on this one? I feel like this should be a happier quote. Let's see here. Happy quotes. Let's see. What do we have? Happiness is a warm puppy. I mean, it's short, but that's not really what I'm looking for. I can, I will, I did. We could do that. Okay, we can do that. We'll make the happy orange one just for Dan. I guess the question is, which one do we like better for the front? I kind of like this side. Okay, so the one that I picked. We'll just do big block letters, I think. All capitals for this. Just that? Anything else on it? We have room down here. We could put something. Hi, Kari. Thank you for the follow and thanks for hanging out. Well, I appreciate the follow and welcome in. You've kind of stumbled upon my first craft stream. So we're going to see how this goes. Could we get a shout out for Kari as well? Would you mind, Shaggy? Kari does a lot of streaming of Dead by Daylight. Thank you very much. Oh God, and you rated too. Oh, you guys are killing me right now. Thank you, Kari, for the raid, and welcome in, raiders. So thank you for the follow, Axel. All right, so I'm Callie. I am a variety streamer. Generally, I play different types of video games. With everything from, simulation, cozy, survival, time management, puzzle, horror. I love horror games. But you guys have come in on my first attempted craft stream. So right now I'm making bookmarks. And these are some of the ones that I have done. This was the first one I did where I didn't know what to put on it, so I just put stickers on it. And then this one I did not too long ago, this morning. I was just doing a bit more practicing because I haven't been making these long. And then this one I made on stream. And right now we are working on this one here. And then I will also go through afterwards, because these were tassels I had already made, but we'll make a few tassels on stream as well. And later, maybe, for Christmas one year, I made these hand-lettered things for all of my family, and I went and just got document frames from the Dollar Tree. And I did everybody's name in different styles of calligraphy and everything. So might do some more of these a little later too. But thank you for all coming in. Kari, I appreciate the raid. And yes, be right back. Go take care of yourself. Do your post-stream lurk. Get some water, stretch, get something to eat, all of that fun stuff. And thanks for trusting me with your community. Okay, did we figure out what we... You want me to send this to Dan, right, Shaggy? Okay. Well, his name is Run Dan Run, right? I can't promise how good I'm going to make it look, but I could try to do like a sneaker on it. All right. We're going to test this, and I make no promises as to how this is going to look, okay? In fact, we're going to do a quick little test. See how well I can make this look. That look good enough for you? All right, we'll try to put that on here. Thanks, Axel. Appreciate that. Oh, I'm sorry, Pastel. And now my pen wants to not work. This pen only wants to work when you're holding it certain ways. There. How's that for you, Shaggy? All right. Okay, Pastel, no worries. Hey, there is nothing wrong with being a Star Wars and Mortal Kombat nerd. I'm not really a nerd of either of those, but I do very much appreciate them. My dad is a very big Star Wars nerd. All right. I suppose I should put this up a little higher so you guys can see what I'm doing. So excited for the new DLC for Mortal Kombat. 3 new guest icons as fighters. Who are they putting in there? Now I am trying to do this just very lightly because I don't want pieces of glue stuck in the tape like I had in the last one. Ghostface, T-1000 Terminator, and Conan the Barbarian in Mortal Kombat? Well, that's interesting. No, tape, don't do this to me. And it stuck to itself again. Like badly too. It is just tearing all over the place. This is a hazard with using Dollar Tree stuff. Says one of his iconic lines. Do you like scary movies? All right. The tape is not cooperating. I give up. Although I did pretty well with the air bubbles. I only got one right here. Where'd my ruler go? Well, that's cool. It should be fun. This time both the cybernetic ninjas are female. Okay. Now see, I haven't really played any Mortal Kombat since like the first one. Shaggy. Do we want to put any beads on this? I do have some yellow beads, along with blue, green, pink, and purple. Now these are just wooden beads that I got from the Dollar Tree. They are not always in the greatest of conditions, but they work in a pinch. Now, one of the things I have found with these is they kind of suck in making sure everything is deburred in there. So you do have to sort of get something in there to knock out all of the wood bits. Noob Saibot is back again. There's more about 11 as a base roster character. Yeah, honestly, I'm just using a needle. It works well enough to knock the majority of it out. And if there's a section that's like too big, then I'll use the tip of my scissors. And I'll just roll it around in there. And that usually takes care of what I need. Like this one. I don't know how well you can see that, because I keep flipping off of my screen that's showing me in real time. But yeah, you see that piece in there that's just blocking everything? Yeah, I heard about the Castlevania chapter of Dead by Daylight. I don't play Dead by Daylight anymore, but I can still appreciate watching some other people play it. It's in the PTB. Dracula's OP. Isn't Dracula always OP in any iteration of him? Now, the fun thing with these Dollar Tree beads, because they are wooden, they are really easy to fix whatever you need to fix. Like, literally, I'm just putting in the smaller end of my scissors and just rotating the bead around it to clear it, and it works great. I mean, you can see all of the yellow wood shavings here. Ooh, as I just hit everything. My desk is messy all the time anyway. All right. Because they are wooden beads, though, sometimes you can you can catch the threading in it because you're not going to clear everything. Oh, ads have started. Welcome back from the ads, and thank you. I'm assuming it's D3 on Norgay's account. I appreciate your support. But, all right, we got the beads on this. We got it wrapped up. And we're going to go ahead and that's what it looks like. What do you think, Shaggy? All right. I'm glad you like it. All right, what color should we make the next tassel? I'll show you how I do my tassels. I have orange. I have so many colors. Why is that pack of needles buried in? Why is this needle buried? Oh, that's because that's in that. Okay. Let's see. I've got orange. I have yellow. I have a light pink. I have brown. I have green, red. Just pick a color. First person to say a color, that's what I'm going to find. Actually, we're going to do some pink. Because I don't do a lot of pink things because I personally don't like pink. All right, embroidery floss. That is all I am using is just basic embroidery floss. I have so much. Like this thing is stuffed full. And I have more than that. Well, because I do know how to embroider. And honestly, I prefer using embroidery floss to just basic thread. Because embroidery floss has all of those different little threads within it. There's 6 of them for the ones that I use. And it's great to just pull it apart to make it thinner if you need, but if you need something that's thicker, like because you're working with a thicker fabric, it's great. So I use this in basic sewing as well, generally over thread. It's sturdier to me too. So let's get a fair bit of this out. I suppose I could start with the we'll do the harder one first. So with this, I wrap it around my fingers and I'll spread my fingers for whatever length I want the tassel to be as a whole. And I use a fair bit of thread for this because I feel like the thicker they are, the better they look. And I just keep wrapping until I'm happy with it. And hope to not knot up the rest of it. That looks good. And I did start this first thread so that it was down at the end too. So when you cut it, you want to cut it either down at the end or up at the top. So that way it's even. And because I'm doing the one that's harder for me to do, the easier one, basically you take this, you're going to tie a little loop at the top and knot it. And that's going to, and make another loop. And that's going to be how you tie your tassel to it. And it's just going to hold around this and you'll wrap around that and you'll have a very clear, like this one, where you can see how it was looped through. But what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to cut both sides and then wrap around this top and then flip it upside down. And that's going to create a more like all around tassel like this one, where you only have it coming out of like one area. So for that, we're going to cut both sides. And if you cut it weird, just make sure you line it back up. Okay, so now you have all of your pieces for your tassel. I like to take a nice long string so I have room to work with. And one side of this is going to be the loop that goes through the bookmark itself. And the other side of this is going to be the loop that goes around the tassel. So figure out how long you want your loop to be. That seems like that's plenty. And then you're just going to tie this at one end. And I will always, always double knot it just to try to keep it from coming undone. Okay, so that way you just sort of have this kind of bundle like that. And then I'm going to make my loop that will attach to the tassel. And you could, if you wanted to, take this and tie it around it again, or you could just tie it to the other end. I'm just going to tie it around this again just to try to make sure that I have... Also, I have fat fingers, so small knots are difficult for me. They take me a little bit of time, so you're going to have to bear with me. All right, so that is the loop that's going to attach to the... Now we're just going to flip this whole thing over. And it's going to take a little bit because you have this long tassel, long line out, which you do want, and you want your loop to come out. So you're going to kind of hold those aside, and you're going to kind of just break this up. And you want to pull it down in sections all the way around. Because that's going to make it look a little fuller. And because of the way I tied this, let's do that. And keep this kind of out to the side. And sort of fluff it how you want it to fluff to make it look right. All right. So there we have the top of the tassel. Now, this piece that's hanging out, we're just going to go ahead and wrap. Pull it down to where you want it to be. As you can kind of see, it's sort of coming down. And actually what I'm going to do, I'm going to loosen that up a bit and see if I can't pull this through so that way I can hold it down straight. Okay, so now it's under that initial, get out of the way. It's under that initial pull down, so that will help to keep it looking normal coming down with the rest of the tassels. And when you're done with that, I do one loop that I loop around my finger as well. So that I can put it through that loop and kind of tighten it a little bit. And do it again. And that way, that makes sort of a friction knot, so you can just sort of tighten it. I understand, Vic. No worries, and I appreciate you lurking. All right. And then that just kind of hangs down. I've got extra. That's fine. I wanted extra to work with anyway. And you have your tassel. So now the only thing is to just trim everything. So all of the tassel ends are about the same size. And there's a tassel. And I like these for bookmarks, but they don't have to be. And now this one's a little different from how I normally make them because I did make it tie on the other side. So as you can tell, it kind of comes out rather than at the top. But if you don't like that, you can literally just make a knot, pull it to the base or the top of the tassel. The base of this loop, the top of the tassel. All right. There we go. I have a bit of green fuzz in that now. So with the pink tassel, how about we do, I have this option. Or I have this option. Pink and purple or all pink? Let's go ahead and all pink. All right, we'll do the all pink one. Let's make a little bit thicker bookmark, shall we? And yes, I'm using the centimeter side. I don't care. It's just whatever happens to come up easier. So long as it's the same measurement, it doesn't matter what side you use. Okay, that's going to turn slightly, but it is what it is. I made a fatter mark at the top than I did at the bottom. Now, if you wanted to, you don't have to double this up. I double up the bookmarks because I like them being a little bit thicker. But you could just as easily just do this and have it just blank on the back side. That's not uncommon. But I like the look of having color on both sides. All right, let's find something to put on this one. Should I do another quote? Should I attempt some other kind of drawing? Let's see. I like this one. Let's do this one. I do wish I had slightly thinner markers, but I don't right now. It is what it is. This one's going to start a bit higher up though. Oh, this isn't doing great because this is getting a little cramped, and my marker is a little thick, but not quite oh well. Not the best flower I've ever drawn by any means, but it's passable. Like I said, not great. Mostly because this flower does not look great. And some of the writing blurred together with the marker. But oh well. It happens. Okay, I'll just paint my nail with glue. That's fine. Okay. Now time to see if I can open this stupid tape again. The hazards of getting stuff from the Dollar Tree. They are cheap, but sometimes they are cheap. And the mailing tape is one of those issues right now for me. You just did an oopsie. What did you do, Vic? You didn't go to the wrong room again, did you? Okay. Stay in your holder. Let's fold this so it doesn't happen again. There, now I can actually get that up. All right. Putting it down the way I have been with my finger following it is keeping most of the bubbles out, so that's nice. Scissors. Okay. Not a problem. Welcome back from the ads. And that's not a problem, Vic. I'll check when I can, when I don't have tape stuck to my fingers. Nope, come here. I want to throw all of this away. I just like to round all the corners. All right, and I think this one's gonna get no beading on it. All right, another bookmark. So we've made a fair few, 3 bookmarks today. Well, today I made this one too, but yeah. But it doesn't take long to do them. The biggest thing is just figuring out what you want on them and just kind of going from there. But I think they're fun. I think they're cute. Because I like to make everything by hand for Christmas. It is something that may eventually wind up in my assortment of Christmas presents because I tend to stick with the same thing each year. But how about we do a couple of these? We'll do a couple of names real quick. Just the hand lettering and stuff that I tend to do. Like this one. And this one was really quick, so I mean you can see it's, if I can, it's a little rough in spots because I was just doing it really quick as an example. And I didn't like outline to smooth out the lines or anything. I was just kind of rushing on that one. But what is, let's see, can we do a very common name? Let's see here. When you go looking for common names, you just get most popular names and top names. Oh, let's try this one. Top names over the last 100 years. Mary is apparently the top name from 1924 through 2023. So I guess we'll do a Mary. The first thing I do is I sort of decide, do I want this to be very flowy, cursive-y, like that? I tend to do a lot of those because I personally prefer them. But sometimes I'll do the more like block Gothic sort of letters. If I feel that that fits the person a little bit better that I'm making it for. I have a book of calligraphy, and sometimes I'll use that just for, reference, especially for the things that I don't really know how to do. But a lot of times I will just sort of kind of do whatever the hell I want to do. So with this one, I think I'm going to not do the cursive. Not like this one where it's all, not like this one where it's all interconnected, but I'm going to do each letter individually printed. So let's start with the M, because I always make the capital letter as fancy as I can. I don't like that. And sometimes that happens. I don't like it. I'm not going to keep it. Should have gone the other way on that one. Just do a big curve like this. That works for me. All right. And once you have the basics, it's literally just a matter of extending. So the way calligraphy works is you have a slanted pen. So because it is slanted, when you go in one direction, it's going to be a really thin line. When you go in the other direction, it's going to be a thick line. So when you have stuff like that and you're doing hand lettering, like this is way too big for me to use a calligraphy pen on, just because there's no pen big enough to make this look normal in just one stroke. So the way you make this look better is by deciding, A, how were you holding the pen when you wrote it? So for example, with this one, if I wanted to add a little bit like that and say I was holding it at a slant. So that means I have a lot more thickness at certain parts and less at others. And then you just fill it in. Now you can get like markers or watercolors that have these brushes at the end, which would allow you to do this in a larger font like this, in a larger script, without having to sit here and fill in every section of the pen that you've done. But again, this is just a Sharpie. I'm just doing this with what I have available, with what I was able to get cheaply. Because you don't always need, yes, they help, but you don't always need the super fancy materials and supplies to be able to do stuff. All right, so this is going to be a very thin line down, but going back up, it's going to be thicker. All right, again, same thing with this. All of my downward strokes are pretty much what is turning thick. And if you don't quite line up as you're going through, like I did here, that's fine. Just extend your line a little bit. There. And now it looks, I mean, it's my own form, so it's nothing like super obviously calligraphy or anything, but you know, it's cute. So then what I do is I look up what the name Mary means. Let's see. We have all types of possibilities for Mary here, it looks like. All right. And then I just like to find somewhere on here to write. Sometimes I'll do it up at this top section here, just because, you know, it's a big open space. It works. Other times, if I don't have a lot of lowercase or tails in the name, so there's not a whole lot going on underneath, I'll write it underneath and just leave that blank. But because I have a lot of that, it's going to come up here right now. And let's see. There we go. All right. So, name Mary is either derived from the Hebrew Miriam or of Latin and Greek origin. It has many meanings: star of the sea or drop of the sea, beloved, bitterness, wished for a child. It is one of the most commonly used names from 1924 to 2023. And that's it. That's how I do my hand lettering. Now I might look at this later and decide to like smooth out like little bits here. In fact, I might just do that now because it's a little jagged. That's a bit better. But yeah, sometimes I'll go in and I'll just fix up areas that bother me. But that's that. And I'm literally just using basic computer paper for this. I'm not doing anything fancy. I'm not doing cardstock or anything. This is just literally computer paper. And that's why I say you need to get a document frame, not a picture frame, because it is a little bit wider. It's 8.5 by 11, which is the, the normal standard computer size. And then pictures are 8 by 10, so obviously this wouldn't fit into a normal picture frame. But again, you can always go to the Dollar Tree. They usually in their picture frame section have document frames, and they're just a simple black frame. Nothing crazy, nothing super fancy, just simple black frames, but they work great for something like this. All right. Let's do a boy's name. James is apparently the top one. So let's also look up the name James. So that way I have that. Okay. And now, let's see if we can do a more Gothic style. I'm not as good as these as I am like the flowy cursive ones. But these are still fun to do. Oh, I could do very sort of blocky in the old style with all the extra little dashes and stuff in it. Or I could do something that's sort of a combination. Nope, we'll do this. All right, now this one is going to be a little more interesting. because I don't normally do these styles because I'm not very good at them. But we're going to see what happens here. I do need to be over a little bit. When I'm doing fonts that I don't normally do off of just my basic handwriting, like I did with Mary or with Sarah, because with those, I basically wrote the letters out first, and then I expanded as I needed to. With the more Gothic style calligraphy, I'm literally just looking at a picture of it and trying to recreate it as best as I can. Now, because I did make a slight error here, this is not quite as thin as it probably should be, but we're going to make it work. See, I did another oopsie there, so we're just going to expand the line a little bit, make it a little thicker. Okay, now this has this sort of thing up here. For the top of the J. And then we have these sort of two dashes here, and then another one of those. And then we just have this sort of fun okay. That's the J. Now, unfortunately, I don't have a lowercase set for these. So let's find something that looks similar. Oh, they're out mowing our yard, so apologies if you hear that. Oh, the lowercase was much simpler. It looks like. Okay. Kind of corner that off a little bit more. I always love how these Gothic letters look. I'm just not usually very good at them. So they're kind of time consuming. Yeah, these should be a bit more pointed. All of the curved letters are so weird because they are just pieces of straight lines, all kind of clumped together. The S is a little awkward shaped compared to the rest. It got bigger as I went. But again, I don't often do these style of letters. So the fact that it looks as good as it does is impressive for me. And I'll take it. Now from here, if I wanted to, I could add some extra, because this is fairly plain looking because of the Gothic style to me. But at the same time, if you're giving this to someone who maybe is a bit of a minimalist or is a bit more stoic, doesn't like all the froofy stuff with the swirls and the extras and stuff, something like this, I think the only other thing I might do just for a little added decoration, kind of underline the name. And it still ties in with the theme because of this thing here. And in this one, I think I'll go ahead and put the writing on the bottom. Let's see. All right. There we go. That's James. Not too bad. I could stand to use like some of the lines, especially, but because I'm freehand drawing, it just sort of got a little bit bigger the further out I went. But, you know, I don't do well with the Gothic S's to begin with, so that I'm impressed with how that looks for me. And then one of the most popular names, James, is of Hebrew origin from the name Jacob. It means supplanter or holder of the heel. So now we have those. And this is why I always do a stack, because with Sharpie, it always bleeds through. All right. That said, we could do a name in a different color, because I do have a few other colors that I could use for this. So I might do one. Let's do it in red. I don't normally do that. What name should we use here? Something that does well with red. And I want to do something that I can be really loopy with. Jennifer is of the top 3. So let's look up the name Jennifer so I can get the details and stuff of that name. And for this one, we're not going to look anything up. I'm just going to kind of do my own little loopy-loo. All right. Let's see. Yeah, we'll do something like that, I think. I like curlicues, what can I say? Does look a little weird on the top, but it is what it is. I'm fine with it. And these markers are a bit thicker than just my black Sharpie, so it's coming out thicker to begin with. Hey, a garlic bread lasagna sandwich sounds awesome. And welcome back, Pastel. Thanks for hanging out and lurking. I do appreciate that. Now this is harder for me to line this properly because of how thick this marker is. But again, you can do this stuff without anything fancy. These markers came from the Dollar Tree. And they still work. You just have to be a little bit more careful with them. And once I realized how thick this marker actually was, you'll notice that I did sort of kind of widen the rest of my letters. So I had, except for here, because I just messed that up. But it'll still work. All right, that is the name Jennifer. And then here, if we wanted to, we could do like some extra curly cues and stuff. Nothing too fancy, just some basic stuff. We're still gonna thicken it on the edges though, because we're still pretending we're doing this with a calligraphy pen, which all downward strokes are gonna be thicker. And I need to fix this one because I totally forgot to do anything with this one. There we go, that's a little better. Now I'm still going to just use my basic pen for the meaning. But again, because we have stuff that goes down on the bottom, we added this. I'm going to put it up here rather than down here, just to help fill the space a little bit better. Let's see. Thank you. All right, there is Jennifer. Jennifer is of Welsh and British origin, taken from the Welsh Gwenhwyvar, and is the modern version of Guinevere, as it means the fair one. The J's a little wonky, but Pastel, I know you just came back. Did you see any of the other ones that I did? Ooh, this marker bleeds a lot, just for reference. Because I have to get rid of 2 pages because of the way it bled through. Now, I could combine my bookmarks with my hand lettering. And tilt the bookmark like on its side and do the name this way, long ways. And then if I really wanted to on the back, I could do the meaning of the name. And I might do that at some point, but the current paper that I'm using for the bookmarks with the scrapbooking with all of this, I feel it's a little busy for that. Now I could just cut computer paper to size and do it that way. And it'd just be a thinner bookmark, and that would be fine. I just personally, I don't like the thin bookmarks. In fact, the thicker the paper, the happier I am with the bookmarks. Ideally, I want like cardstock, so that way I only need one shape. I don't have to put two shapes together to make it a little thicker. But it is what it is. And I feel like just white bookmarks are just bland and basic and boring. I mean, that's just me, but maybe I'll get some other paper or some cardstock or something and make some bookmarks with names on them next time. I'm not entirely certain how well liked this is, so I guess we will, see from there. Also, why is that? I'm this far into my stream and I'm just noticing that that's not popped up at all. Why are you not working? There we go. That was odd. Yeah, I was putting this screen together and getting it to a little bit yesterday and today, and yeah, so it is what it is. All right, what'd I do? I've done 3 names and I made 3 bookmarks. So I think we can call that good for today. We'll go through real quick. I'll show what we made one more time. So we did these bookmarks. Shaggy has told me that she's going to send me money to send this one off to a friend to Run Dan Run. But these are what we made. So we have the We Will Fail When We Fail to Try by Rosa Parks. Quoted by Rosa Parks. And then we have the I Can, I Will, I Did for Run Dan Run with a beaded tassel. And then we have Love is Like Wildflowers. It's often found in the most unlikely places. Ralph Waldo Emerson with my kind of crappy flower at the bottom. And this one is the tassel that we made on stream. Your favorite is the Rosa Parks one because of the tie-dye on it. or just because of the quote. And then we also did hand letter names for Jennifer, which we chose to do in red. Yes. Yes to all of it. And then we also did a more gothic styled James, which, not great for me because, it did get bigger as it went through, but I don't normally do gothic style. So I'm very happy with how this turned out because normally I make a mess of it. And then a very simple Mary hand lettering. Yeah, it's got some nice colors to it. That was why I picked that particular paper. And I've got a lot more different tie-dye options as well. But, so that's what we've done. Your favorite tassel is the green one. This one? Or this one? Oh, the pink one. And we'll give it just a minute because I do have ads running right now. I might have to glue that corner down there because it keeps popping up. Well, I'm glad you liked how they turned out. I think this is probably the best tassel I've done so far. Partially because I used a lot more thread in it than I did with any of the others. Making it thicker always seems to make it look fuller and make the top look a little bit better. But I'm very happy with how that turned out. I'm also very happy with how the James turned out because, like I said, I don't often do the Gothic letters, but I think I like how clean they look. I especially like the capitals and all of that, how those are done. But we're going to call it here. I've done 3 bookmarks and 3 names, and we are going to go raid out to someone. Let me see here real quick. Anybody who wants to, I do have my socials coming in the chat right now. I do have a Discord. I do have, channels for arts and crafts, for food, for traveling, book and movie recommendations, all kinds of stuff like that. Plus all of the video game stuff. We have updates on various different games that I like a lot. And then there's also a game deals channel that I keep updates for any free games that you can get on Epic, Prime, or Steam, and then any sales that might be going on Steam as well. So it might be worth a check. If you are interested in watching more of my crafting, I might start making this not like a weekly thing, but every once in a while. And do more of these as we go. And then if you are watching me play video games, I do put all of my VODs up there. So if you missed an episode, you can always go check and see what happened. Like last night, Fi and I played 7 Days to Die, and we had another blood moon, and it went better than the previous one, but we still had a few issues with it. And then I have recently started a TikTok, and I would appreciate any follows that you might want to be willing to give me there. That said, we are going to do a raid, and who all is on right now? Not a lot of people. This is why I usually don't do morning streams. Let's just go say hi to Salus. Salus is a Palia partner. She plays a lot of Palia, and that's what she's playing right now. But she's very friendly, very into her community, and I would very much appreciate if we could all say hi there, and you'll get extra channel points by following the raid, and just say hi. Maybe you'll find your next favorite streamer. Thanks for hanging out with me today, guys, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!